Hi, Amazing Recaps here. Today I'm going to explain a film based on the real-life story of the youngest warrior of World War II called Soldier Boy. Spoilers alert, watch out, enjoy the recap, and take care. Journey to Russia, where the scene starts with a family of three having a nice time by the river. The youngest kid, S0ld1er starts bragging to his older brother and mom about how he climbed up a tree. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, these fighter planes from Germany zoom by. The mom gets worried and tells the kids to hide in the bushes. The 6-year-old Sergey, he's not scared at all. He boldly takes his slingshot and aims it at one of the planes. Boom! He actually hits the plane and explodes. When Sergey looks around after the explosion, his family is nowhere to be found. Then, Sergey wakes up all scared from this dream and calls out for his mom. And just at that moment, someone knocks on his door. Sergey thinks it's his mom and rushes towards it, but instead, a panicking neighbor lady comes in. She feels grateful to God for protecting him, but then he gets some shocking news. The lady tells him that his mom and brother didn't make it. He can't really understand what she's saying, and he just wants to stay in the house, hoping his mom will come back. She explained that the Germans attacked them, and it's not safe to stay there anymore. Right after that moment, some soldiers start coming towards their house. The lady quickly tells Sergey to escape through the window. But before she can join him, she gets shot and doesn't make it. As he flees from the house, he witnesses his entire neighborhood engulfed in flames, a heartbreaking sight. Despite calling out for his mother, in desperation, she is nowhere to be found, leaving him with no choice but to keep running. With each step, he distances himself from the chaos, eventually finding himself deep within the mysterious woods. The next day dawns and we find Sergey quenching his thirst by the river, unaware of approaching enemy soldiers. Sensing the imminent danger, our resourceful young hero swiftly conceals himself within the protective embrace of the tree roots. His heart skips a beat as the snake slithers by, yet he remains calm, refusing to utter a single word or flee. The soldiers, their presence more fearsome than the serpent, feast by the river before departing, leaving behind scraps of substance. Sergey eagerly sees their leftovers and devours them to satiate his hunger for the night. But as the day wears on, fatigue takes its toll on the weary boy. His weakened body gives away, causing him to stumble and collapse. Along his journey, he discovers a patch of wild berries. Suddenly, an unexpected explosion starts behind him, catching him off guard. The world around him spins as dizziness ensues, and he starts to hallucinate, sensing a presence closing in on him from behind. Undeterred, even in such dire circumstances, Sergey asserts his position of a rifle, declaring his lack of fear. Pressing on with a limping gait, he ultimately succumbs to unconsciousness, succumbing to the hardship that have befallen him. As Sergey drifts off to sleep, he hears footsteps approaching. The scene changes to an army base where Commander Kuznetsov eagerly waits for his soldiers. They arrive with the weak and hurt little boy. The soldiers tell him they are on his side, and the boy introduces himself. They all laugh as the boy shakes hands with the commander, asking him to introduce himself too. The soldiers treat the boy kindly, giving him water and food. Even the commander takes care of him. A nurse named Katya helps Sergey with his wounds and thinks he's charming. The boy asks her to draw a tank on his wounds because he wants to be a soldier someday. The injured soldiers talk to the boy and feel better. Sergey admires the commander's gun and badge. The commanders answered all the boy's questions and let him play with the ordinary pistol without bullets. Sergey proudly shows the commander the tank drawing on his stomach and boasts about being a soldier himself. Nurse Katya asks the commander if the boy can stay with the battalion, but he disagrees, saying it won't be safe and wants to send Sergey to an orphanage. The soldiers spend lots of time with Sergey, and many visit him throughout the day. They bring him food from their families and let him play with their binoculars. One day, a soldier talks to the commander, asking him to let the boy stay. The soldiers have grown close to the kid and think of him as family. The boy brings joy to their hearts amidst the war. But the commander insists on sending him to the orphanage for his safety. The next day, the enemies attacked and many soldiers get hurt. A vehicle arrived to take Sergey to the orphanage. The commander tells the boy the news and gives him a wooden honorary pistol as a gift. The boy hugs the commander, expressing fear for his safety. The commander's heart softens and he changes his mind. He asks S0ld1er to stay with the soldiers as his own son. That night, the soldiers search for small soldier clothes for the little boy. They are thrilled to have S0ld1er stay with them. The commander wakes up S0ld1er and gives him the clothes. He puts them on and runs around looking like a real soldier. The others start calling him their little soldier boy. While the kid is playing, the Germans launch an air attack on the battalion. The soldiers quickly take S0ld1er to a safe place and fight the enemy. The number of injured soldiers grow fast. S0ld1er wants to be helpful, so he brings water to the thirsty soldiers. One of them asks him to read a letter from his family because his eyes are covered with bandage. The little boy wants to assist, but he doesn't know how to read. He takes the letter and starts making up things written on it, saying that the soldier's cow is safe back at home. When the soldier says he doesn't have a cow, the others tell him to go along with the story and everyone laughs. S0ld1er reads everyone else's letters in the same way and brings cheer to their hearts. In the next part, we see Katya and the commander talking. They seem to like each other, but they don't say it out loud. Later, S0ld1er tells the commander that he is part of the team in the battalion and starts introducing himself as one. But then he sees one of the soldiers stationed destroyed from the attack. The commander teaches him to take off his hat to show respect to the fallen soldier. The next day, he insists that the commander gives him a mission. He is assigned to deliver letters to the soldiers. He does it well and even makes the soldiers dance for him. The next day, S0ld1er goes a little far from the base with his binoculars. While playing, he sees a leg moving from inside a haystack. He quickly returns to the battalion and tells the soldiers what he found. The soldiers are unsure, but they follow the boy anyway. When they get close to the haystack, they discover 2 German spies hidden underneath. The spies are caught and the boy is praised for being smart. That night, the commander shows S0ld1er the adoption papers. Now, officially, he is the boy's father. S0ld1er knows about the commander's feelings for Katya. He takes him to confess his love to her. But when they see her talking to another man, they wrongly think she is interested in someone else. The enemy. Germans attack the base again. This time, S0ld1er helps the soldiers with all his strength. He supplies ammunition to the soldiers on the front line, but they tell him that it's too dangerous and ask him to go back to the shed. When he reaches the shed, he sees the commanders and others worried because the phone's connection with the colonel is lost. A soldier is sent to fix the broken wires. S0ld1er follows him and sees that he has been badly hurt. He asks the soldier how to fix the wires and does it himself. The connection is restored and more troops are called for help. The 6-year-old boy saves everyone's life. Later, we see the commander and Katya talking by the river. The commander finally tells Katya that he loves her and asks her to be S0ld1er's mother. Katya is extremely happy, but before she can respond, a soldier approached them with a letter. He informs the commander that they have been assigned to a new base. The next day, all the soldiers, including S0ld1er, leave for the new base. However, on their way, they encounter a dangerous minefield that causes some of their vehicles to explode. The commander gets injured, and the soldier who was close to S0ld1er sadly dies in the blast. S0ld1er cries and hugs the commander and continue their journey towards the new base. After reaching the new base, they meet the commander's leader, General. The general is also impressed by the boy's determination and congratulates the commander for having such a clever kid. The next day, their divisions receive a guard's banner, and the boy is honored with one too. He promised to protect his country when the general presents him with the badge. One night, their base is brutally attacked, and the commander gets trapped under the rubble. S0ld1er cries for his father and does his best to rescue him. He calls for help, and finally, the other soldiers manage to free the commander. The following day, S0ld1er approaches an injured commander with his own hands injured from the rescue attempt. The boy has become an integral part of the team. He doesn't have a family other than the soldiers, and he goes wherever they go in war. The movie concludes as the regiment is shown moving to another base. In the background, a narrator's voice tells us that S0ld1er even participated in the Stalingrad battle and reached Poland with the soldiers. He is now known as the world's youngest soldier, and his amazing tale of bravery has become renowned worldwide. What an amazing movie, guys. Wow, 6-year-old. Most 6-year-olds right now are playing with soldiers or in the tablet, and this little guy was in the middle of war. And what about that funny part where he catches the spies? Imagine you're a spy that you train for 20 years and you get caught by a 6-year-old. That was funny. All right, guys, so don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Be putting more videos in the future. Leave a comment. Let me know what other movies you want me to recap. I'll talk to you soon.